Hello everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you a gel printing play session using the Arteza metallic acrylic paints. I still have a coupon code that should work. It's Shel, Shel 3, and these paints obviously were given to me by Arteza to try out and to make videos with. And I wanted to try them on the gel plate. And I knew that for Thursday, January 30th, 2020, on the Art Joy of Sharing live stream show, we would be doing gel printing. And so I waited until now to use them on the plate just to see how they would work. And so I'm starting out with some Valentine stencils that I just got. I just ordered from StencilGirl products. I need to make some Valentines. I agreed to do a swap, a Valentine swap for StencilGirl, and so I needed to use some StencilGirl stencils to make some Valentines. So I thought I would try out the metallic paints with the two Valentine stencils that I got. I will link all the products in the description box below so that you can find them. And a lot of times metallic paints look pretty cool on black paper. So I have some black text weight paper that I'm playing with, as well as some white text weight printer paper. For this one, I used the space gray pearl, put it on the plate, and then put the stencil over the top. And then I added some different colors of pinks and purples with the different metallic paints and pulled it up with the black paper. And then for the cleanup print, I'm going to pull it on white paper with white paint just to try to get the rest of the design off the plate. It didn't all come up that well, so I probably will print over the top of that one later. So now I'm putting the same stencil back down and putting all those fun pearly pinks and reds on there. Now the Arteza metallic acrylic paints, almost all of them with I think the exception of 5 colors, are semi-transparent, and some of them are very transparent. So I think opaque paints work a little bit better. This is where I just printed back over the top of that other one and came out with something really nice. All I did was just put the pearly pinks and purples through the stencil and then pick it up on that same print that didn't come through that well. This is the other Valentine designed stencil that I got, and I wanted to try it out. So I put some purple, that's the darkest purple that there is in the set, down first, put the stencil over the top, making sure that when I'm putting the stencil down, the words to me look backwards, because when you're printing you need to put them face down, and then when you print it'll be the right direction. That's something you have to remember. Your natural inclination is to put the stencil right side up, and then all your words will be backwards on the print. So I'm like reminding myself of that as I'm doing it. Then I put some black. I pulled it back up with scratch paper. I just wanted a little bit of black outline around the stencil holes. And then I'm putting in some different colors of paint through the stencil. And I will pick this up with black again. I think it would have been much more dramatic if I picked it up with white. So what I'm finding as I'm going along is that I really don't like the metallics from Arteza very much with the black paper. But that is a really pretty print. It's just very subtle. Hard to see on the video, hard to see in pictures, but it's a pretty print, and I will definitely use it. I just don't think that these Arteza, however you want to say it, metallics are all that dramatic on the black. Some other metallic paints that I've used have been very, very, very eye-catching on the black. So then I made a cleanup print. I didn't have very much on it, so I decided to print over the top of it as well. So I'm just putting the stencil back down, and I just do 2 of the little. This one almost has like 5 different things on the stencil, like 5 different areas that you would use like on cards or something. It's not really a cohesive 9 by 12. So there's some of the Valentine ones. I end up making a few more towards the end of the video, but I'll figure out what to do with them, and there'll be a video about that when I make my 5 Valentine cards to trade, which is on my list of things to do. I'm sure there will be a video about it. So this is a circle stencil, bubble stencil, something from StencilGirl as well. And I decided to try out some of the blues and greens and make kind of a watery looking print. So I put the stencil down without any paint underneath it, and then I'm applying all these different blue, green, turquoise colors. These are all very pearly and metallic-y looking. They're very pretty. And then I pick up the stencil, and I am cleaning the stencils off slightly on some scratch paper, and on some of that I'm getting some pretty cool prints. This time I decided to try to take the excess off on my second plate. I didn't do very much with the second plate because the people on the live stream that this was recorded couldn't see it. Both Peg and I are on the live stream together, sharing the screen, and so the viewing is much smaller. So that was my kind of watery looking one. And then I, of course, have to pick up this excess on the other plate as well. But I think I'm moving on to something else. I don't know. Maybe I'm letting all that dry. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I also have some new brayers. My other brayers really need to be cleaned. And I haven't cleaned them, so it's a good thing that I had ordered this pack of 3 brayers in a pack, because otherwise I would have been using my 2 other ones, which are just coated with paint. I need to soak them in Murphy's oil soap, and that will help them get all that gunk off of them, but I just haven't done it. I can't remember to do it for some reason. So I used the this interesting stencils that has circles, and I made a print on black, which is really, really pretty. And then, I don't know, the colors on that are really awesome. And then I picked up the cleanup print with the white. And then I decided I wanted to play with some of the greens, yellows, and chartreuses, I think. And I made a print of those too. I might have lost a little bit of footage because I forgot to plug in my phone as I was filming this. I filmed the secondary with my phone because the other live stream footage has both of us on it, so I have to film separately. It gave me a low battery warning and stopped the video, and then I figured it out and turned it back on. So I'm not sure if I missed anything or not. Might have. So here's where I'm wanting to play with the yellow, green, chartreuse, lime green colors. And I put some black down underneath the stencil, pulled it up through the windows, and I had way too much black paint on there. It was crazy, crazy black paint. I think I had to pull it 3 times. And then I put the stencils down, put some of these colors over them, and pull these prints. I can't remember if I printed this one on black and that one on white, or vice versa. I think I remember. The one on the right went onto white paper, and then the one on the left, even though I am putting white acrylic as the pickup paint, I wanted to put that white acrylic because it's opaque, and these yellowy green colors are so translucent. I didn't think they would show up without that white backing of the paint onto the black paper. So that's the reason that I did it that way. I'm sure that makes sense to some people. It just would have been shimmer mostly. I don't think that the color of the chartreuses and yellows and greens would have showed up, is what I'm saying. And then that one's just a grungy. I think it's got some pretty cool areas for using in some abstract collage that will be interesting, I think. So then I decided I wanted to do some more with combining regular acrylic paint, and this is the Arteza or Arteza, whichever you want to say it, brand. I probably should ask them how they say it. That would probably be the good plan. So I got out this bright orange, and that stencil is the newest club stencils. StencilGirl has a stencil club, and if you join the club, you get 3 stencils a month that are exclusive to club members only. And then you can also buy previous club. Once you're in the club, you can buy ones from the past, and you can also get all their videos and instructions by all the different designers throughout the months. I think I've been in the club now for at least a year, probably more, and it's just really fun. It's fun to see what people make with the club stencils, and it's fun to open the package when you get it and you're like, oh, new stencils. So this one was designed by Mary Beth Shaw, and it's one of the 3. You get a 9x12, a 6x6, and a 4x4. It's just like cubes, like it reminds me of dice, rolling dice. Decided to throw a little bit of distress oxide spray on there because that's what Peg was doing on her screen on this one, just to mess around. It's interesting to mix different things on the plate, and I do that sometimes. This time I was really trying to focus on those metallic paints, but I did throw in a few other things because that happens. And then I pick up this one, and it makes another real distressed page that'll be good for backgrounds on abstract collage. I have so much nice paper. I need to make a bunch of collages soon. Yeah, I really like the corners with the kind of browny orange color. It was the orange picking up, but it was because of the blue, it turned kind of a brown. It was really pretty. So then, yeah, I'm still messing with some of the regular Arteza acrylic paint and the metallics, mixing them together. And this time I wanted to do some more Valentines, so I put some reds. And this paint has been, it's past its prime now. I've had this paint for a long time. I don't know. Still haven't managed to use it all up. I think that was one of the first things that Arteza ever sent me to try out, and I still have a lot of it, and I haven't used it up, and now you can see this is what's happening. It's gotten thick, and so I was struggling with it. It's tacky and thick, but I just kept moving with it, trying to make it work. I put some fluorescent pink and some white on there to pick it up, trying to get some of it off the plate because it was really just wanting to stick to the plate was the problem. And it didn't all come up. See how much is left? So I decided to put some white on there and try to pick some of it up. Thought I would get the rest of it. And as you will see, it still didn't all come up. And I'm getting some very patchy looking prints. There's not like anything real clear about them. But the one that I do with the black, I'm pretty happy with it. It's very grungy. Doesn't have those cute little Valentine, the full images on there, but it's a cool piece of paper anyway. So I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with the Valentines. We'll figure it out. And this one I'm really pressing down with the brayer, making sure it's getting full contact. And I still got some paint left. But that black piece of paper with the grungy stuff on it is really neat. I like it. I like it. So moving on, decided to go back to bright colors and just not worry about the Valentine things anymore. This is some of the bright green paint and opaque paint from Arteza. With a different stencil. I think this one's also a club stencil. And I decided to put some blues and greens on there with it, just for something interesting. And then I was rolling the brayer across, picking up some of the excess paint, and I was getting a pattern on the brayer. So I decided to roll that over onto the other plate that I was working with. And in that way, I could get a different look with this same stencil. because I picked up the pattern, but then I kind of, I didn't make it exactly the same. So I crissed and crossed it and made it more interesting, and you'll see. You'll just see. But this one turned out really bright, and then it has a lot of shimmer to it as well. Pretty bright green, shimmery with turquoise and stuff in it. So I need to pick up that one too. Sure, I'm going to get to in any moment. Oh, I decided to pick it up with silver. I don't know why. Because I could. Everything didn't come off the plate. But it has an interesting pattern to it. A subtle pattern. You wouldn't think that those two green pieces were made with the same stencil. They're very different. So then I had another stencil I haven't used yet that was from the club a couple months ago. Decided I would use it. These stencils are really cool. They're designed by Pam Carricker, and she makes beautiful faces, but the thing is I just don't have a whole lot of use for a face stencil. I don't know. In this first print, I started with a dark color, I was thinking backwards. And so the print didn't end up coming out the way I really wanted, so I had to redo it. But I'm using the different warm tones of bronze and copper gold and those type of colors on all the rest of these prints. So I wasn't thinking about it being a mask, which is really what it is. It's a mask more than a stencil. So, of course, all the light parts of her face came out dark, and all the dark parts came out light. All the parts that should be dark came out light because I was thinking of it backwards when I started it. I've never used the stencil before, so I end up with a very dark, just like a negative reverse. Like if you take a picture and you edit it and do it in negative, and it reverses the light and dark, that's really what that looks like. So I probably won't use the face, but it had a lot of other interesting parts around it, like some kind of gear-looking, steampunky-looking stuff around the edges. So, and then this one is the cleanup, and I did it with some copper, and it came out with some interesting lines and patterns as well, which will be great for collage. I hope you're enjoying this video, and if you are, well, first of all, get out your gel plate and do some printing. Second of all, leave me a thumbs up or a comment or question. You can of course, subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification bells, and you can share this on Pinterest or Facebook or some other place that you like to share. And all those things are really helpful to me. So this time I put copper down first, it's called copper gold. And then I put the stencil on and I put some darker colors and lighter colors around. Darker colors in the hair, which is the space gray pearl, and some darker reds, and then some silver and gold and copper, just all around. And this one came out really cool. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but it's a cool print anyway. Then I put like some buff titanium color to pick it up and make sure that it has opacity with that opaque paint in the back. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. And there's a flip through of all the different prints coming up after this one. So I'm just going to play some music. Bye-bye.